What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about what to pack for a hike in Norway. As Americans, we know nothing about how to pack for hiking because hiking is just not a part of our culture, but from what I understand, Norway is amazing for hiking, and hiking is kind of a way of life in Norway. So today I want to learn, how do Norwegians pack for hiking? Because I think in Norway, hiking is not only common, but it's a lot more extreme than any kind of hiking people do in the United States. It's actually quite intense. So I'm really curious about what kind of stuff Norwegians pack. So let's take a look.
Because today we're going to show you what to have in your bag for a one-day hike in the mountains.
Okay, and specifically, this is just for 1 day hike in the mountains. Oh my God, because that's another amazing thing. Just in Norway, the amount of accessibility to mountains and these amazing places to hike. That's something I'm very, very jealous about. Here in the United States, there are mountains in some places, but most Americans, don't even think about going for a hike. It is just not part of our culture. It's quite uncommon, actually.
Come along!
Say come along till hästen.
Come along. The first thing you want to do is go online and check the weather. Really nice.
Right.
Firstly, it's very important that you're dressed for what you're going to do.
Man, for Norwegians that were hiking, back in the day, a long time ago, before the internet, it must have been actually quite annoying not being able to check the weather forecast. That's actually super, super important. Also for safety and stuff, right? That's such a small thing they're talking about, but when you really think about it, that's so critical, being able to check the weather, just on your phone today. It's something people take for granted, probably, huh, for hiking.
We are wearing mountain boots, mountain trousers, a good jumper.
Whoa, hold on.
We are wearing mountain boots.
These boots, already? Just already. The shoes. Americans don't own, mountain boots. Most Americans, even if Americans were invited on a hike, I don't even know where you'd go hiking, but it'd probably be a pretty small hike. Americans would just wear their normal shoes. The fact that there are actual dedicated mountain boots. Do most Norwegians actually own a pair of mountain boots? Because that would be very, very, very strange for an American to own mountain boots.
Mountain trousers, a good jumper,
Right.
thin wool underneath. And when all of that is covered, we're going to find out what we need in our bag.
What? Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute. This is all of this? For 1 day? All of this stuff? 1 day of hiking? That's way more than I thought. Okay, all right, you know what? Let's hear it.
Whoa, there's your bag. Having a good backpack, which is good for your back and is comfortable for you to carry and will give you some extra support, is also really important.
Oh my gosh. This must be so funny, because I bet to Norwegians, this is so normal. But the idea of having a hiking backpack is so extreme to me. I guess when you live in Norway and have access to the mountains and hiking that are available in Norway, you need an entire hiking backpack. Probably a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I've never even thought about before.
Backpack is really good as well.
Yeah, expensive.
You want to wear a thin layer of woolen socks, but you also want to bring an extra pair of woolen socks. In case your feet get wet, this is going to save you a lot of discomfort.
Oh, it's good even if it gets wet. Wow. I hear that a lot about the wool. Apparently wool is very, very important. Wool clothing, wool socks. That's what I hear a lot. I don't own wool socks or anything, so that's another Norwegian kind of thing as well, but apparently they're much, much, much better.
Avoid wetness at all costs.
You also want to bring an extra shirt. I like that shirt to be wool as well. An extra warm jumper in case it gets cold. You never know when it's going to get cold.
Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
I like to bring.
It feels like when hiking in Norway, it's better safe than sorry, as we say. Bring extra everything. Extra underwear, extra socks, extra sweater. Is it that much of a threat to like get wet? Or are they talking about if it rains or if you step in a puddle or something? I guess, I'm inclined to believe anything they say. Like if they say bring extra clothing, I am guessing it's for a very good reason. You don't want to be caught without extra clothing. That makes sense.
A thin down jacket. It's very light, easy to carry. Bring something wind and rain resistant.
Oh my god, this is like four different types of jackets already. Is this really necessary? Is it the Norwegian weather that's like unpredictable that you're bringing 4 different types of jackets? I never would have imagined this was necessary.
Rain-resistant trousers that you can easily pull over your normal walking trousers in case of rain. Something else which is super practical to bring is a rain coverage for your bag. It will keep everything in your bag dry as well.
Wait, what? What is this? This is a bag that goes on top of your bag. This is a bag for your bag, so that rain doesn't get into your bag. I mean, it is so overkill for anything here in the United States. But for Norway, this is just kind of teaching me how intense Norwegian climate and hiking is. There's really like quite a lot of precautions Norwegians take to make sure nothing goes wrong. I guess once something goes wrong while hiking, you never make that mistake again. So it's better to be over-prepared. That's what I'm getting here. Better to be over-prepared when hiking. Wow.
Well, some thin woolen long johns in case it gets really cold, and make sure you have enough water to last you the whole day. You're probably going to be more thirsty than you are normally.
That's the... Finally, this is like the one thing Americans would think of. Americans would be like, okay, I gotta bring some water. And, okay, I'm ready to go. It's finally something I can recognize, a water bottle. And probably extra water. This is the only thing I've ever thought about while going on a walk or hiking, is water. But there's so much more stuff for a Norwegian hike. And it makes sense. Norwegian hiking is much, much, much more intense by the look of it.
And you should never go anywhere without having a proper lunch, enough food, and snacks. Be prepared that you can spend some more time in the mountains than you think you might.
Cookies. Make sure to bring some cookies on the hike as well. Okay, no problem.
That the walk might take longer than you think, or that you can get stuck. Bring enough food and water so that you're safe throughout the day.
Right. Okay.
It's very important when you're making these types of videos that you have snacks.
This is the one thing you do not have to encourage Americans to do. We will definitely bring snacks and water, no problem. But joking aside, it's really all the other stuff that Americans would have no idea is so important. All the extra clothing and the proper boots and all the precautions against getting wet and rain. That's all pretty new to me.
Always bring with me some extra blister plasters, because having a blister when you go for a walk is just so annoying.
Whoa, yeah, I would never think of that, but that's something maybe Americans bring if playing sports. But hiking is like a sport. It's like an athletic endeavor. So blister bandages, that's very smart. That's a very good tip.
And here you should have just a simple first aid kit with everything you might need. It's also important to bring sun protection. Even if it's even if it's cloudy, you want to protect your skin from the sun. And don't forget sunglasses. You also want to bring a sitting pad, something to sit on.
A sitting pad? I've never heard of a sitting pad. It makes sense to me. I've never thought about this. It's if you are hiking, and I guess I've never thought about it because there's no hiking here in a lot of parts of America, or the hiking is very easy. But in Norway, you might want to bring a little cushion, a little seat, so that you can sit down and rest or eat comfortably. It's just a little cushion. I have never seen this before, but it makes so much sense.
A wet bottom, that's what kills you.
Oh, it's to make sure your butt doesn't get wet as well. Okay.
Bring toilet paper with you, and remember, don't leave the toilet paper out in nature.
Or I will find you.
He will find you.
Wait, what? What? Wait, toilet paper? Toilet paper. For going to the bathroom. I mean, I guess if you're in the middle of nowhere, hiking in the middle of nowhere, and you have to go to the bathroom, there's nowhere else to go. If you gotta go, you gotta go. And you bring some toilet paper with you. I have never, ever thought about this, needing toilet paper. But now that I am being confronted with this information, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Not just for men, but for women as well, to have toilet paper. I've just, yeah, in America, like, even if we go on a walk or a hike, which would be a little out of normal, it wouldn't last all that long to need to go to the bathroom, or we wouldn't be so far out in the middle of nowhere that there wouldn't be a bathroom. But in Norway, there is so much open space and hiking and exploration and the right to roam, and you can go all over the place, that you need it makes sense. I shouldn't laugh. Toilet paper. It's a good tip.
Remember, don't leave the toilet paper out in nature.
Or I will find you.
He will find you. When you're out hiking, you want to bring an extra plastic bag so you can throw away your rubbish, a little garden shovel.
A bag for your toilet paper and for your trash. That is something Americans definitely need to hear, because Americans are very, very bad about littering. I think Norwegians are a lot more respectful about nature and a lot better at not leaving trash. Americans litter. Like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna lie. Americans definitely litter, leave trash. So that's actually pretty important for Americans to hear.
A garden shovel like this, in case you really need to go properly to the toilet.
Oh, oh, I was wondering about this. This is if you need to dig a hole to go to the bathroom in as well. Okay. I've never had to think about these things, but Norwegian hiking is much different than hiking in America. Much different. It's a much more extreme. You're probably doing it for longer, and you gotta go to the bathroom. This stuff makes sense. It's just not things Americans really think about. But I was like, why does she have a shovel? And then it all made sense.
You want to dig a good hole and cover the hole properly.
Yeah.
And remember, if you go to the toilet out in the mountains or out in the woods, don't go anywhere near water. So
Yeah, Americans, like most Americans, have never, ever in our life dug a hole and gone to the bathroom. Never had. Like most Americans never done it ever. I have never dug a hole and gone to the bathroom. But it makes sense if you're on a long, tough Norwegian hike. I've never thought about it.
So nobody drinks contaminated water. Something to cover your neck.
Okay. Okay, and don't do it near water. That's honestly not something I would have thought about. I would not have thought about that. It's good they mention, because this isn't something Americans usually have to do. Don't go to the bathroom near water. It contaminates the water. Okay, that's actually good to think. That's good to know.
Your neck. A little hat.
Oh, something for your neck. Yeah, because the neck can get quite cold. Yeah, I usually don't think about the neck, but Norway can be a lot more cold as well. So I think there's a lot of stuff like proper neck protection and having like 5 different layers on. That's a lot more necessary in Norway in the cold.
Even if it's really warm outside, weather can change really quickly. Hey. Oh, bless
Okay.
you. Bless you.
See, that's what she's saying. Weather can change quickly in Norway. In most parts of the United States, the climate is pretty regular. It's pretty predictable here. But in Norway, weather can change quickly. That's why you need to be prepared with so many different things. That explains why the packing for a hike in Norway is so much more intense.
Sorry.
A little pair of gloves
Sure.
to keep your hands warm.
Yep.
All right. I think that's it.
Is that it?
Do you feel prepared?
Finally.
Yeah.
No feeling beats the feeling of being well equipped and prepared and well packed.
Is that true? Is it a satisfying feeling being well packed, well prepared for your Norwegian hike? I thought the whole backpack was overkill. No, it's very necessary because there is a lot of important stuff you have to bring on a hike in Norway. I had no idea.
Eller well packed kanske. Good package. Nej.
Tag.
Just a packed bag. A bag of things
Yes.
that you need.
Yes.
If you want the whole packing list, check the link in the description. Come back next week to see how...
All right, and there you go. That was actually way more interesting and intense than I thought, I have to say. This video was by Visit Norway, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. There was so much more stuff than I anticipated having to pack for Norway. I think they had it all laid out. Yeah, right here. Like when it's all laid out. The shovel, the sitting pad, the first aid, snacks, drink, 10 layers of clothing, toilet paper, sunscreen. There's so much more stuff you need to bring on a Norwegian hike. I think a lot of Americans would be very, very, very underprepared if they did not watch a video like this, if Americans did not learn about this. I definitely would not have known how important it is to bring some of this stuff. But once you learn it, once I hear it, it all makes so much sense. And you do, I'm actually really, really happy to have learned this because I didn't know any of this stuff. And it's pretty important, actually, for Norwegian hiking. So it's actually crazy how different hiking is in Norway to the United States. But that's kind of the fun in learning about this. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with what you think you should pack for a hike in Norway, if they covered everything, or if I missed something. Please let me know. That'd be great to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.